This is Mr. Erbac's Gaming. After Wolfenstein 3D and Doom kicked off the first-person shooter craze, a new king would be crowned.
Hail to the king, baby.
Duke Nukem 3D released on April 24, 1996 for the PC and the Mac on May 25, 1997. Releases for the Gamecom, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, and even Tiger Grip games quickly followed. It was actually a sequel to the lesser-known side-scrolling games Duke Nukem and Duke Nukem 2. Duke Nukem 3D was immediately controversial for its violence and pornographic content. When the Game Boy Advance came out, it received Doom and Doom 2 conversions, as well as Wolfenstein 3D. These were pretty fun, as the Game Boy Advance was a huge jump from the Game Boy Color 8-bit system to the Game Boy Advance 32-bit system. Well, on August 12, 2002 in North America and September 20th, 2002 in Europe, Duke Nukem Advance would bring big action to a small screen. Grab your sunglasses, crack your knuckles, so grab your favorite weapon and your Game Boy Advance. Take Duke on an action adventure on the go. So this Duke Nukem is not simply a conversion like the other games I mentioned on the Game Boy Advance. This is an actual brand new adventure. While many of the graphics and sounds have been ported from Duke Nukem 3D and is also a first-person shooter, this game contains a brand new storyline, weapons, enemies, and bosses.
Hey Duke, get your pants on, meet here in 1300 hours. General Graves will brief you on your mission.
Ready for action.
You'll notice this general who gives Duke a mission briefing every level. He is the man who taught Duke everything he knows in the U.S. Army. This is General Graves, and he has his most prominent appearance in the series before he re-emerged in Duke Nukem Forever.
Hold on, Duke, we're getting out of here.
He first appeared in the Duke Nukem 3D expansion pack, Duke Nukem 3D Atomic Edition.
Duke, we've got a new problem here. This video. Somebody's gonna freaking pay for screwing up my vacation.
Basically, a group of alien scientists plan to clone Earth's most attractive women and then kill off the rest of the population. There is no story listed inside the instruction booklet, so I'll read the synopsis on the back of the box in my best Duke Nukem impression. Alien scientists are taking control of the top-secret Area 51 military base and are planning to overthrow Earth, but none of Duke can stop them. Armed with alien-busting weapons, his kick-butt attitude, and using the alien drone transporters, Duke takes the battle to 4 unique locations around the world. Oh! And rescues a few babes along the way. Hail to the king, baby! The introduction starts with a comic book-like cutscene. 4 difficulty settings can be selected at the beginning of the game.
Let's rock.
Multiplayer is possible, but it requires 4 players to have a copy of their own. Good luck with that, as I had to track down a used copy of the game. Anyways, an option to save one's progress is available at the completion of each level, and has 5 game slots to choose from. This entry in the series features 19 levels spread across 4 locations. It has sections of Area 51 to Egyptian temples, to Sydney, Australia, And finally, the alien ship. The premise is that a sect of aliens are preparing a hibernating army to go with a super weapon they built especially to lay siege to the planet, and it's up to Duke to stop them. Of course, this game being on the Game Boy Advance, it has a limited amount of controls. The game does offer 4 different control configuration options. That's good, because just like Duke Nukem 3D, you have to shoot, jump, strafe, look up and down, and select your weapon. It works well considering it only has 4 main buttons and then the start and select buttons. Pause the game to view the level's map. The player can pan around the map as well as zoom in or out. Some level secrets can be discovered by looking at the map. Like Duke Nukem 3D, this game includes a bunch of weapons, most which are a staple of the franchise. You start off with a Mighty Foot and a Desert Eagle, which I prefer over the pistol from Duke 3D. Weapons you pick up throughout the game are the SPAS, or shotgun, lead cannon, MP5, which replaces the chain gun cannon. I like that choice. The gold Desert Eagle, the pipe bomb, rocket launcher, and finally 2 weapons I don't care much about, but they're a little easier to use here. The freeze gun and the shrink ray.
What a mess.
Exercise caution when using the freeze gun or the shrink ray, because you can end up freezing yourself or shrinking yourself. In this version of Duke, there's no extra button to use your Mighty Foot, like in Duke 3D, so when you freeze an enemy, you'll automatically kick the enemy when you get close enough. When you shrink them with the shrink ray, you'll automatically step on them when close enough. I actually avoid these gimmick weapons as much as possible, but some players enjoy them. To use the Mighty Foot, you have to select it or run out of all ammo. Speaking of selecting weapons, you have to hold select and press L or R to scroll through your weapon selection from left or right. Here's a really good tip to save some ammo and make a good use out of your freeze gun. Use it on the Octobrain. If you use it on the Octobrain, because he's a floating enemy, he will fall automatically after you freeze him and break apart. Quick tip with the pipe bomb: to throw it further, you hold down the shooting button. The pickups of items in this game are standard health, armor, and keycards, and ammo, or some weapons share. Shells for both shotguns, bullets for both Desert Eagles and the MP5, and the cell pack powers the shrink ray and the freeze gun. Items like the jetpack are absent. The Hollow Duke item can be found only in the multiplayer. Nice big juicy Duke burger can fill you up pretty good too. As I mentioned earlier, playing Duke Nukem on this limited control system works better than expected. L button is the strafe left, R button is the strafe right, jump with the A button, fire with the B button. To look around, hold both the L and R buttons and press the control pad in the direction you wish to look. There's no use button to open doors or flipping switches, so you simply walk up against the door or switch to open. You'll notice the HUD has been moved to the top of the screen for this particular entry in the Duke Nukem franchise. As far as enemies, this game only features 7 common enemies. 4 of them come from Duke Nukem 3D, the Assault General, the Enforcer, which is the only hit scanner in the game, the Pig Cop, and Octobrain. The Assault General lacks his jetpack and the Enforcer lacks his jumping ability this time around. The other 3 enemies are brand new. The Hybrid has a mental energy attack that can also revive fallen enemies. The Alien Egg is easy, just don't get too close as it will spit acid at you. The Alien Crab is what results when an egg hatches. Don't let them get too close with their knife-like feet. There's an enemy from Duke Nukem 3D that I'm glad didn't make this game. The Sentry Drone. The other enemies are 4 brand new and exclusive bosses. The Spider Lord, the Alien Controller, the Cyber Alien, and the Alien Lord. Most levels are pretty large, often featuring multiple building structures. This can leave you wandering through lookalike passageways. But this game shakes things up literally with the annoying shake of time-based challenges. There's also platform-based puzzles as well. Game can get frustrating. One wrong move and it's back to the start of the level for you. The graphics on this little cartridge are pretty darn good, with good detail, and emulates Big Brother 3D pretty good. Items, projectiles, and characters are made of sprites that scale in size as you get close to them. Some enemies do become very pixelated close up. The smooth frame rate remains that way all the time, it seems, no matter the number of corpses you pile up. I might have noticed something about the sound during my gameplay. The classic Duke Nukem 3D anthem blasts during menus, and it can get annoying because that's the only music you'll be hearing. Other than that, most of the standard sounds and some of Duke's classic lines are here, and very good. The alarm's going off and it's extremely irritating though.
What a mess.
Even Duke himself gets that Prince theme song stuck in his head. The positives far outweigh the negatives, but I must go over those negatives. Playing this game after playing Duke Nukem 3D on consoles or PC, it takes a little bit of time to get used to the GBA's controls. The worst thing about the game is the time-based escape scenarios. The screen shaking is horrible, and it's easy to fail and have to start the level all over. The alarm blaring can get annoying. It may make you turn the volume off, and using the gimmick weapons could get you in trouble. Scrambling for a weapon can get you killed and quickly in a firefight scenario. This is the best first-person shooter you'll find on the Game Boy Advance. It may not sound like much, but it's an original Duke Nukem adventure you should play if you haven't. The Duke Nukem attitude distinguishes this FPS from other first-person shooters on the GBA. The solid gameplay will satisfy most FPS fans. The developers did a fantastic job bringing Duke to the small screen. I give this little title a 7.5 out of 10. The best FPS you can find on the system. Even a better effort than Doom games and Wolfenstein 3D on the system.